Coinbase announced that it is now registered with the CSA, becoming the first international crypto exchange to receive restricted dealer registration in Canada. The company says it's doubling down on its Go Deep strategy in this country. For more on Canadian crypto regulation and the expansion here, Faryar Shirzad is the Chief Policy Officer for Coinbase. Thanks so much for being with me.
Thanks for having me on.
We've talked in the past about how Canada is a critical market for Coinbase. This is another step where you're deepening your ties here. What does it mean? What does it give Coinbase when you become a restricted dealer?
Well, it allows us to operate in this market under the authority of a very clear and comprehensive regulatory framework. So that's really important for Coinbase. But it's particularly important for Canadian consumers. So by the Ontario Security Commission's own estimation, something like 30% of the Canadian population will likely buy crypto by the end of the year. And to have the option of being able to operate with and transact through regulated crypto exchanges, particularly global ones like ours, is a real advance for Canadian consumers, and we're excited to be a part of that.
And what did that come with? Because you know, you guys were charting, and others are charting sort of uncharted waters. You're making the regulations together and trying to figure out how does that work? How do you grow? But how do you protect the consumers? How did it all come together?
Well, regulators have a really important responsibility to make sure that markets operate effectively, efficiently, but also safely. And with crypto, it really upends much of the traditional infrastructure of financial services. So it requires really thoughtful and creative regulators to make sure that the regulatory outcomes are achieved, but that they don't stifle innovation. And we were really lucky to have a partner like the Ontario Securities Commission and then the CSA more generally to get from here to there and ultimately be able to meet all the expectations that Canadian regulators have, but to also be able to operate in this market. And it sets an example within Canada, but it sets a really important global example of very high standard, high demand regulators being able to get from here to there and create a framework that companies like us can operate under.
Others have shied away or chosen not to participate in this program, in part because there were restrictions placed on things like the kind of cryptocurrencies that you could trade. How did Coinbase reconcile with that in terms of the kind of offerings you can give clients?
Yeah, we're confident that we'll be able to offer customers a broad array of options. The OSC has put on us the obligations in terms of how we determine which assets that we offer. They'll be keeping an eye on us like the other regulators will, and we will operate under their oversight. But we feel very good about being able to protect Canadian consumers, give our customers, the millions of Canadians who use Coinbase, the ability to access the crypto markets safely and securely, but also to have a diversity of options. So it's really exciting.
How is that different from your experience in the U.S. right now?
That's
an easy one for you.
Well, the regulators here really are in service to the public and to the markets. They very much want Canada to develop a financial ecosystem that serves the economy well. Remember, when a company like ours comes into a market like this, obviously it creates a regulatory framework around the services that we offer, but it's a really important step to create a broader digital asset ecosystem that allows really interesting innovation to occur in Canada. The really good innovators throughout Canada who are developing a variety of blockchain and Web3 applications, and they rely on the ecosystem in Canada to be complete and comprehensive. And so what the regulators have done is have taken a really important step to make Canada a home not only for crypto trading, but for broader innovation. And I think that's in stark contrast to what you see in some other markets. I
mean, the approval of even the Bitcoin ETF, when you read it, it was like they were dragged, some of them were dragged there kicking and screaming. It's just me and you talking here. I mean, when you talk to the Canadian regulators, I mean, what is the chatter about that approach in the U.S.? Do you experience similar hostilities here in Canada?
No, the Canadian regulators are very thoughtful. Sometimes, you know, obviously it's a process. Sometimes we're happy with what they ask for, sometimes we're not. But the bottom line is that they're very thoughtful. They're very open to dialogue and discussion. And to be honest, it's not all that different than what we face in a lot of other markets. But Canada's moved quickly and is a pathfinder in terms of how quickly they've gotten to giving us the framework we need to be able to operate.
Is it a blueprint for others?
I think so. And I think the supervisory experience that the OSC and the CSA will have in terms of overseeing our market will also be a blueprint. So both the regulations and the supervisory experience are going to be really important. And Canada's made its mark historically as now being an example for the rest of the world.